The 4 bag hung innocently from its metal pole, clear liquid dripping steadily into the thin tube that connected to 8-year-old Hope Rivers' small arm. But Anna Washington knew something was terribly wrong. The normally crystal-clear saline solution had a faint yellow tinge that made her stomach drop with fear. Anna had been working the night shift at Metropolitan Hospital for 3 years, cleaning rooms and emptying trash cans to support herself after her mother's death. She knew every corner of this place, every normal sight and sound. And this was not normal. Hope had been in the pediatric intensive care unit for 2 weeks following a severe car accident. The little girl's recovery had been remarkable, faster than anyone expected. Her father, Jonathan Rivers, the billionaire CEO of Rivers Industries, rarely left her side. But tonight he had finally gone home to shower and change clothes, trusting the hospital staff to watch over his precious daughter. Anna pushed her cleaning cart closer to Hope's bed, her heart racing. She had arrived early for her shift and seen a man in scrubs leaving Hope's room just minutes ago. Something about him had seemed off. He walked too quickly, kept his head down, and she had never seen him before on this floor. The child stirred in her sleep, her small face pale against the white pillow. Anna noticed how the 4 line had been recently changed. The tape looked fresh, and there was a small air bubble in the tube that hadn't been there during her last shift. Without hesitation, Anna reached for the 4 valve and shut it off completely. The dripping stopped immediately. "Hope, sweetie, wake up," Anna whispered, gently shaking the girl's shoulder. Hope's eyes fluttered open, confused and groggy. "Anna? What's wrong? I need you to stay awake for me, okay? Don't go back to sleep." Anna pressed the call button for the nurse, then grabbed her phone to call Jonathan Rivers directly. Can you imagine if Anna had arrived just 10 minutes later? What if she hadn't noticed the poison 4 in time? This little girl's life hung by a thread, and only one person stood between her and certain death. Have you ever wondered what you would do in such a situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible true stories like this one. Jonathan answered on the first ring, his voice thick with exhaustion. "Hello. Mr. Rivers, this is Anna from the hospital. You need to come back right now. Someone tried to poison Hope." The line went silent for a moment. "What did you say?" "The 4 has been tampered with. I shut it off, but you need to get here now. And bring security." "I'm on my way." "Don't let anyone near her room." Anna stayed by Hope's bedside, holding the little girl's hand while they waited. The night nurse arrived first, followed quickly by the doctor on duty. Anna explained what she had seen, pointing to the discolored 4 solution. "We need to test this immediately," Dr. Peterson said, carefully removing the 4 bag. "And we need to call the police." Jonathan burst through the door 15 minutes later, still wearing yesterday's wrinkled shirt. His normally perfect hair was disheveled, and his eyes were wild with panic. "Hope, baby, are you okay?" "Daddy." Hope reached for him, and he scooped her into his arms carefully, mindful of her healing injuries. "Anna," he turned to face the woman who had saved his daughter's life. "Tell me exactly what happened." Anna repeated her story, describing the suspicious man and the discolored 4 solution. As she spoke, Jonathan's expression grew more serious. "The lab results will be back within the hour," Dr. Peterson informed them. "But based on the discoloration, I suspect we're dealing with a serious toxin." 2 police officers arrived to take statements. Anna described the man she had seen, giving as much detail as she could remember. Medium height, dark hair, surgical mask covering most of his face, but she had noticed his eyes were an unusual pale blue. "Mrs. Washington," one of the officers said, "if you hadn't acted when you did, this could have been fatal. You saved this little girl's life." The lab results confirmed everyone's worst fears. The 4 had been injected with a powerful poison that would have caused organ failure within hours. If Anna hadn't intervened, Hope would not have survived the night. As dawn broke through the hospital windows, Jonathan sat holding his daughter while Anna finished her shift. He watched this remarkable woman work, noting how she moved with quiet dignity and genuine care for others. "Anna," he called softly. She approached the bed, her uniform wrinkled from the long night. "Yes, Mr. Rivers? I can never repay you for what you did tonight. You saved Hope's life." Anna shook her head. "I just did what anyone would do." "No," Jonathan said firmly. "Not everyone would have noticed. Not everyone would have acted so quickly. You have a gift." Hope had fallen asleep again, this time safely connected to a new, carefully monitored 4. The police had assigned guards to her room, and the investigation was underway. "I want to offer you something," Jonathan continued. "Hope is going to need someone special to help with her recovery at home. Someone who truly cares about her well-being. Would you consider leaving the hospital to work for us? I'll pay you 3 times what you make here, plus housing and benefits. Anna's eyes widened. Mr. Rivers, I don't know what to say. Say yes. Hope already adores you, and after tonight, I trust you with her life completely. Anna thought of her tiny apartment, her struggle to pay bills, the exhaustion of working multiple jobs. But more than that, she thought of Hope's sweet smile and how the little girl had already begun to feel like family. Yes, she said without hesitation. I accept your offer with gratitude. Jonathan smiled for the first time in hours. Thank you, Anna. You've already given us so much. As Anna packed up her cleaning supplies for the last time, she couldn't help but wonder who had tried to hurt Hope and why. But one thing was certain. She would do everything in her power to protect this precious child who had already changed her life forever. The morning sun streamed through the hospital windows as Anna prepared to leave her old life behind and step into something entirely new. She had no idea that saving Hope's life would ultimately save her own. 3 days later, Anna stood outside the Rivers mansion with a single suitcase containing all her worldly possessions. The house towered before her like something from a fairy tale, with its white columns and perfectly manicured gardens stretching as far as she could see. Hope had been discharged that morning, her recovery miraculous despite the attempt on her life. The police investigation was ongoing, but Jonathan had hired private security to ensure his daughter's safety. Anna would be living in the guest house, a charming cottage that was bigger than any place she had ever called home. Anna? Hope's voice rang out as the front door opened. The little girl ran toward her, moving carefully but with obvious excitement. Careful, sweetheart, Anna cautioned, catching Hope in a gentle hug. Remember what the doctor said about taking it easy. I missed you so much, Hope said, burying her face in Anna's shoulder. Daddy said you're going to live here now and help me get better. That's right. We're going to have lots of fun together. Jonathan appeared in the doorway, looking more relaxed than Anna had seen him. He wore casual clothes instead of his usual business suit, and his smile was genuine. Welcome to our home, Anna. Let me show you around. The main house was even more impressive inside, with marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and artwork that Anna recognized from museum visits. But it wasn't cold or unwelcoming. Family photos covered side tables, Hope's drawings hung on the refrigerator, and comfortable furniture invited relaxation. Hope's room is upstairs, Jonathan explained as they climbed the curved staircase. The playroom is next door, and there's a study area where you can help her with lessons once she's ready to return to learning. Hope's room was a little girl's dream, decorated in soft pinks and purples with a canopy bed and shelves full of books and toys. Large windows overlooked the garden where Anna could see a swing set and sandbox. This is beautiful, Anna said, genuinely amazed. I want Anna's room to be close to mine, Hope announced, so she can read me bedtime stories. Jonathan chuckled. Actually, I thought Anna might prefer the privacy of the guest house. It's fully furnished and has its own kitchen. Whatever works best for Hope, Anna said immediately. If she needs me nearby during her recovery, I'm happy to stay in the main house. See? Hope clapped her hands carefully. I told you Anna would understand. Jonathan's expression softened as he watched Anna's immediate willingness to put Hope's needs first. There's a guest suite down the hall from Hope's room. Would that work for you? That would be perfect. Thank you. The guest suite was larger than Anna's entire previous apartment, with a sitting area, private bathroom, and walk-in closet. French doors opened onto a balcony overlooking the pool and gardens. I hope you'll be comfortable here, Jonathan said. The housekeeper, Mrs. Chen, comes 3 times a week. She'll help with meals and laundry so you can focus entirely on Hope. I don't need anyone to do my laundry, Anna protested. Anna, Jonathan's voice was gentle but firm, you saved my daughter's life. Please let me take care of you the way you're taking care of her. Anna nodded, still overwhelmed by the generosity. I promise to take the best care of Hope. She means everything to me already. I can see that. And it means everything to me. That evening, Anna helped Hope with her bath, careful around the healing injuries. The little girl chattered constantly, telling Anna about her friends at school, her favorite books, and her plans for when she felt better. Anna, can I ask you something? Hope said as Anna brushed her hair. Of course, sweetheart. Why did that bad man try to hurt me? Anna's hands stilled. Jonathan had mentioned that Hope didn't know the full details of what had happened, only that someone had tried to make her sick. Sometimes there are people in the world who make bad choices, Anna said carefully. But there are also people like your daddy and the police who work very hard to keep you safe. And you, Hope added. You kept me safe too. I always will, Anna promised. Jonathan appeared in the doorway wearing pajama pants and a t-shirt. Anna was struck by how young he looked when he wasn't in business mode, probably only in his early 30s. Ready for a bedtime story? He asked. Anna's going to read to me tonight, Hope announced. But you can listen too if you want. Jonathan settled into the chair by Hope's bed while Anna chose a book from the shelf. As she read about brave princesses and magical adventures, she noticed how both Hope and Jonathan relaxed, the tension of the past week finally beginning to fade. Anna, Hope said sleepily when the story ended, I'm glad you came to live with us. Me too, sweetheart. After Hope fell asleep, Anna and Jonathan stepped onto the balcony outside her room. The night air was warm and the garden lights created a peaceful atmosphere. She's been through so much, Jonathan said quietly. Losing her mother 2 years ago in that car accident and now this. But I haven't seen her this happy in a long time. She's a remarkable little girl. You've raised her well. I've tried, but it's been hard doing it alone. Having you here, it feels right somehow. Anna looked at this man who had welcomed her into his home without hesitation, trusting her with his most precious possession. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I won't let you down. I know you won't. You've already proven what kind of person you are. The police investigation continued over the following days, but life in the Rivers household began to find a new rhythm. Anna discovered that Jonathan worked mostly from home, running his business empire from a sophisticated office on the first floor. This meant he was available throughout the day to spend time with Hope, something that clearly delighted both father and daughter. Anna's role evolved naturally beyond what anyone had initially imagined. She wasn't just helping with Hope's physical recovery, but providing emotional support and stability. She organized art projects, helped with reading lessons, and gradually introduced gentle exercises recommended by Hope's physical therapist. Anna makes the best pancakes, Hope announced one morning as they sat in the sunny breakfast nook. Does she now? Jonathan smiled, watching Anna flip pancakes at the stove. They're just from a box, Anna said, blushing slightly. They're perfect, Jonathan said, accepting the plate she offered him. Everything you do is perfect. Anna felt a flutter of something she didn't want to examine too closely. Jonathan was her employer, Hope's father, completely out of her league. But the way he looked at her sometimes made her forget all the reasons this couldn't lead anywhere. What's the plan for today? Jonathan asked. Hope has her physical therapy appointment at 10, Anna replied, sitting down with her own breakfast. Then we thought we might work in the garden this afternoon. The therapist said gentle activities would be good for her. Can we plant flowers for Mommy? Hope asked. Jonathan's expression grew tender. I think Mommy would love that. Anna watched the interaction, noting how Jonathan always spoke positively about Hope's mother despite his obvious grief. He was determined to keep her memory alive for Hope, which Anna respected deeply. After breakfast, Jonathan surprised them both by announcing he would drive them to the physical therapy appointment himself. You don't need to do that, Anna said. I can take her. I want to, Jonathan replied. Besides, I like spending time with my 2 favorite girls. Anna's heart skipped at being included in that statement, even though she tried to tell herself it was just a casual comment. The physical therapist was amazed by Hope's progress. Having such devoted care at home is making all the difference, she told Jonathan and Anna. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. On the drive home, Hope fell asleep in the back seat, exhausted from her exercises. She's getting stronger every day, Jonathan observed. She's determined, Anna agreed. I think she gets that from you. Maybe. But the happiness she's showing now, that's because of you. Anna didn't know how to respond to such praise. She had grown up being told she wasn't good enough, smart enough, pretty enough. Having someone like Jonathan Rivers value her contributions felt almost too good to be true. Have you ever experienced a moment when your entire life changed in an instant? When someone believed in you so completely that it transformed everything? Anna's journey from struggling hospital worker to beloved family member shows us that sometimes the most unexpected opportunities can lead to the greatest happiness. What moments have changed your life? Share your stories in the comments and subscribe for more heartwarming tales of transformation. That evening, as Anna tucked Hope into bed, the little girl grabbed her hand. Anna, I have a secret. What is it, sweetheart? I think Daddy likes you. He smiles different when you're around. Anna's cheeks burned. Your daddy is just happy that you're getting better. No, it's more than that. I can tell. Hope's eyes were bright with excitement. Would you like to be my new mommy? Anna's breath caught. Honey, it's not that simple. But would you? If you could. Anna looked at this precious child who had already claimed such a large piece of her heart. I love you very much, Hope. And I love being part of your family. That's not what I asked. Anna smiled at Hope's persistence. Yes, sweetheart. If things worked out that way, I would be honored to be your mommy. Hope grinned and settled into her pillows, clearly satisfied with this answer. As Anna prepared for bed in her own room, she couldn't shake Hope's words. Did Jonathan really look at her differently? And more importantly, what was she going to do about the feelings growing in her own heart? She had accepted this job to help Hope recover, but with each passing day, it was becoming clear that her own life was being transformed in ways she had never imagined possible. 2 weeks into Anna's new life at the Rivers mansion, she had established routines that brought structure and joy to Hope's recovery. Each morning began with gentle stretches in Hope's room, followed by breakfast in the sunny kitchen where Jonathan would join them before starting his workday. Anna discovered that Hope was incredibly bright, reading at a level well above her age and showing particular interest in science and nature. Together, they created an indoor garden project, growing herbs and flowers in small pots lined up on the windowsill in the playroom. Look, Anna. Hope called excitedly one morning. The basil seeds are sprouting. Anna knelt beside Hope to examine the tiny green shoots pushing through the soil. That's wonderful, sweetheart. You've been taking such good care of them. Can we make pesto for dinner? Daddy loves pesto. If your daddy says it's okay, I'd be happy to teach you. Jonathan appeared in the doorway, already dressed for a video conference but with his tie loosened in a way that made him look approachable rather than intimidating. Did I hear something about pesto? He asked. Hope wants to cook for you, Anna explained. If you're comfortable with us using the kitchen. This is your home too, Anna. Use whatever you need. Jonathan crouched down to Hope's level. I'd love to try your cooking, princess. Hope beamed at the praise. Anna's going to teach me. She knows how to make everything. I hardly know how to make everything, Anna laughed. But I can manage basic cooking. Anna's being modest, Jonathan said, straightening up. Mrs. Chin told me the dinner you made Tuesday was the best meal she's ever tasted in this house. Anna felt heat rise to her cheeks. She had simply prepared baked chicken with vegetables, nothing fancy. But Jonathan was looking at her with such appreciation that it made her pulse quicken. I should get back to work, Jonathan said reluctantly. But I'm looking forward to dinner. After he left, Hope grabbed Anna's hand. See? I told you he likes you. Hope, your daddy is just being kind. Grown-ups are so silly, Hope said with the wisdom of an 8-year-old. Why can't you just like each other? It would make everything perfect. Anna couldn't deny that Jonathan Rivers was an attractive, kind, intelligent man. But she also couldn't forget the vast differences in their backgrounds and circumstances. He was a billionaire CEO, and she was a former hospital custodian. That kind of gap didn't get bridged in real life. That afternoon, while Hope napped, Anna found herself in Jonathan's study looking for a book Hope had requested. The room was impressive but comfortable, with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, a massive oak desk, and leather chairs positioned near a fireplace. Finding everything you need? Jonathan's voice made her jump. I'm sorry, I was looking for Hope's science book. She said you might have it in here. It's probably on the shelf behind my desk. Let me help you look. As they searched together, Anna became acutely aware of Jonathan's presence beside her. He smelled like expensive cologne and something distinctly masculine that made her stomach flutter. Here it is, he said, reaching over her to grab a book from a high shelf. Anna found herself trapped between Jonathan and the bookshelf, his arm extended above her head. For a moment, neither of them moved. Anna could feel the warmth radiating from his body, could see the flecks of gold in his brown eyes. Anna, he said softly. Yes. Thank you. For everything you've done for Hope. For us. You don't need to thank me. Hope she's easy to love. Something shifted in Jonathan's expression. Yes, she is. But so are you. Anna's breath caught. Before she could respond, Hope's voice rang out from upstairs. Anna. Daddy. Where are you? The spell was broken. Jonathan stepped back, allowing Anna to escape toward the door. We should check on her, Anna said, her voice slightly breathless. Of course. They found Hope sitting up in bed, rubbing her eyes sleepily. I had a bad dream, she said. Anna immediately went to her, sitting on the edge of the bed and pulling Hope into her arms. It's okay, sweetheart. Dreams can't hurt you. There was a bad man again. He was trying to take me away from you and Daddy. Jonathan's jaw tightened. The police investigation was still ongoing, though they had few leads about who had tried to poison Hope or why. No one is going to take you away from us, Anna said firmly. You're safe here. Promise? I promise. Your daddy and I will always protect you. Hope settled back against her pillows, comforted by Anna's words. Jonathan watched this interaction with something that looked like wonder. Later that evening, as Anna prepared Hope's bath, she reflected on the moment in the study. Had Jonathan been about to kiss her? And what would she have done if Hope hadn't interrupted? She was so lost in thought that she didn't notice Hope studying her face. Anna, do you ever think about getting married? The question caught Anna off guard. Why do you ask? My friend Rebecca at school says her mom is getting married again. Rebecca's going to have a new daddy. Anna helped Hope into the warm water, considering her response carefully. Some people do get married again after they lose someone they love. Would you want to get married someday? Maybe. If I found the right person. What would the right person be like? Anna smiled at Hope's curiosity. He would be kind and funny and smart. He would love children. He would make me feel safe and happy. That sounds like Daddy. Anna's hands stilled in Hope's hair. Hope. I'm just saying. Daddy is kind and funny and smart and he loves me so he loves children. And you always look happy when he's around. You're very observant. I get that from Daddy too. Hope grinned. Rebecca says when her mom found her new daddy, they had to go on dates first. Like to restaurants and movies. That's usually how it works. Maybe you and Daddy should try that. Anna couldn't help laughing. It's not that simple, sweetheart. Why not? How could Anna explain to an 8-year-old about social expectations, class differences, and the complications of falling for your employer? Grown-up relationships are complicated. They don't have to be, Hope said with the simple wisdom of childhood. That night, Anna lay in bed thinking about Hope's words. Maybe relationships didn't have to be complicated. Maybe she was overthinking everything because she was scared. She had grown up believing that people like her didn't get fairy tale endings. Her mother had worked multiple jobs just to keep them afloat, and Anna had expected the same struggle for herself. But here she was, living in a mansion, caring for a child she adored, and finding herself attracted to a man who seemed to feel the same way about her. The next morning brought unexpected visitors. Anna was helping Hope with her morning exercises when the doorbell rang. I'll get it, Jonathan called from his office. Moments later, voices could be heard in the foyer. Anna recognized the formal tone of police officers and felt her stomach tighten with worry. Anna, can you bring Hope downstairs? Jonathan requested. Anna found Jonathan in the living room with 2 detectives she recognized from the hospital. Hope immediately went to her father, sensing the seriousness of the situation. We have some news about the investigation, Detective Morrison said. We've arrested someone in connection with the attempt on Hope's life. Anna felt relief flood through her. Who was it? A man named Thomas Bradford. He's a former employee of Rivers Industries who was fired last year for embezzlement. Apparently, he blamed Mr. Rivers for ruining his life and wanted revenge. Jonathan's arm tightened around Hope. Is he talking? Does he have accomplices? He's confessed to acting alone. According to his statement, he planned to hurt Hope as a way of getting back at you. He had been monitoring the hospital, waiting for an opportunity. What happens now? Anna asked. He's been charged with attempted murder. With his confession and the evidence we have, he'll likely plea bargain for a lengthy prison sentence. After the detectives left, the household felt lighter somehow. The threat that had been hanging over them was finally gone. Does this mean the bad man can't hurt me anymore? Hope asked. That's right, Princess, Jonathan said, hugging her close. You're completely safe now. That evening, Jonathan suggested they celebrate with dinner at Hope's favorite restaurant. It would be their first public outing as a family, and Anna felt nervous about the implications. Are you sure I should come? Anna asked. People might get the wrong idea. What wrong idea? Jonathan's voice was genuinely confused. About us. About my role here. Jonathan stepped closer, his expression serious. Anna, what exactly do you think your role is here? I'm Hope's caregiver. Your employee. Is that all? Anna's heart was pounding. I don't know. Then let me clarify something for you. You're not just my employee. You're not just Hope's caregiver. You're part of our family. And if people want to speculate about what that means, let them. Before Anna could respond, Hope came running downstairs in her favorite dress, clearly excited about dinner out. Are we ready? She asked. We're ready, Jonathan said, offering Anna his arm. All 3 of us. As they walked out together, Anna realized that her new beginning was just getting started. The restaurant Jonathan chose was elegant but family-friendly, with soft lighting and comfortable booths that provided privacy for their conversation. Anna had worried about fitting in, but Jonathan's easy confidence made her feel welcome anywhere they went together. "Can I have the mac and cheese?" Hope asked, bouncing slightly in her seat. "Whatever you want, princess," Jonathan replied. "We're celebrating." "What are we celebrating?" Hope asked innocently. "The fact that you're safe, healthy, and happy," Anna said, reaching over to smooth Hope's hair. "And that we're all together." Jonathan's eyes met Anna's across the table, and she saw something warm and intimate in his gaze that made her pulse quicken. The waiter approached their table with obvious deference. "Good evening, Mr. Rivers. It's wonderful to see you and your family again." Anna noticed that Jonathan didn't correct the man's assumption that they were a family. Instead, he simply thanked the waiter and placed their orders. "Daddy," Hope said once the waiter left, "can Anna and I go shopping tomorrow? I want to pick out flowers for Mommy's garden." "Of course. Whatever Anna thinks is best for you." "I think some light activity would be good for her," Anna agreed. The physical therapist said normal activities are important for her recovery. "Then it's settled. You two can take the car and Wilson can drive you wherever you want to go." "I can drive myself," Anna said quickly. "I have a license." Jonathan looked surprised. "You don't have to drive yourself, Anna. Wilson is paid to be available whenever we need him." "I know, but I'd like to maintain some independence. If that's okay with you." "Of course it's okay. I just want you to be comfortable." This was part of what Anna found so attractive about Jonathan. He never made her feel lesser or dependent, even though he was clearly accustomed to having staff handle everything. "Can we also stop at the bookstore?" Hope asked. "I finished all my science books." "This child reads constantly," Jonathan told Anna with pride. "She gets through books faster than I can buy them." "She's incredibly bright," Anna agreed. "Maybe we could start her on some more advanced material." "Actually," Jonathan said thoughtfully, "I've been considering homeschooling for the rest of this year. Hope missed so much school after the accident and with everything that happened. I think she might benefit from more personalized attention." Anna's heart skipped. "Are you thinking of hiring a tutor?" "I'm thinking of asking you to take on that role if you're willing. You clearly have a gift for teaching and Hope responds so well to you." Anna looked at Hope, who was listening to this conversation with obvious excitement. "Would you like that, sweetheart? Having lessons with me?" "Yes. Can we study science every day? And can we do experiments?" Anna laughed. "We'll have to study other subjects too, but yes, we can definitely do experiments." "I'll arrange for you to get whatever supplies and materials you need," Jonathan said. "There's a room on the second floor that would make a perfect classroom." As they ate dinner, Anna found herself marveling at how naturally this felt. Hope chattered about her plans for their shopping trip, Jonathan shared stories about his own school experiences, and Anna felt like she truly belonged with them. "Anna," Hope said suddenly, "are you happy living with us?" The question was so direct it caught Anna off guard. "Very happy, sweetheart. Why do you ask?" "I just want to make sure. Because I want you to stay forever." Anna's throat tightened with emotion. "I'm not going anywhere, Hope. Promise?" Anna looked at Jonathan, who was watching this exchange with intense focus. "I promise." The drive home was peaceful, with Hope eventually falling asleep in her car seat. Anna found herself studying Jonathan's profile as he drove, noting the strong line of his jaw and the gentle way he handled the car. "Thank you for tonight," Anna said softly, not wanting to wake Hope. "Thank you for making it special. Everything is better when you're with us." Anna felt that familiar flutter in her stomach. "Jonathan, I need to ask you something." "Anything. What are we doing here? I mean, what is this relationship becoming?" Jonathan was quiet for a moment, considering his words carefully. "I think we're becoming a family, Anna. Maybe not in the traditional way, but that's what it feels like to me." "And that doesn't concern you?" "The complications." "What complications?" "You love Hope, she adores you, and I—" He paused, glancing at her briefly before returning his attention to the road. "I care about you more than I probably should, given the circumstances." Anna's heart was racing. "Jonathan. I know it's complicated. I know there are a million reasons why this might not work. But I also know that I haven't felt this way about anyone since Hope's mother died. And I've never seen Hope bond with someone the way she's bonded with you." They pulled into the mansion's circular driveway, and Jonathan turned off the engine. Hope stirred but didn't fully wake up. "Let me carry her inside," Jonathan whispered. Anna watched as he gently lifted Hope from her car seat, the little girl automatically curling against his chest. The sight of this strong, powerful man being so tender with his daughter made Anna's heart ache with longing. Inside, Anna helped get Hope ready for bed while she was still half asleep. The little girl automatically reached for Anna when it was time for her bedtime story. "Just tonight, can you both read to me?" Hope asked sleepily. Anna looked at Jonathan, who nodded and settled into the chair beside Hope's bed. Anna sat on the edge of the mattress, holding the book so they could both see it. As Anna read, she was intensely aware of Jonathan's presence. When their hands accidentally touched while turning pages, she felt electricity shoot through her entire body. Hope fell asleep before the story was finished, but neither adult moved to leave. "Anna," Jonathan whispered. She looked up to find his face very close to hers. His hand came up to cup her cheek, thumb brushing softly across her skin. "I meant what I said earlier. I care about you. More than care about you." "This is happening so fast," Anna whispered back. "Does that scare you?" "Yes. But not because I don't feel the same way." Jonathan's thumb stilled on her cheek. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying that I've fallen in love with both of you. With this family. With this life. And that terrifies me because I never thought I could have something this good." Jonathan's smile was radiant. "Anna, you deserve everything good. You deserve to be loved and cherished and appreciated for the remarkable woman you are." "Do I?" "Because sometimes I feel like I'm dreaming, and I'm going to wake up back in my old apartment, struggling to pay bills." "This is real, Anna. We're real." Jonathan's voice was firm but gentle. "I want to court you properly. I want to take you on dates and show you how special you are. I want Hope to see what it looks like when two people care about each other." Anna's eyes filled with tears. "Yes, I'd like that very much." Jonathan leaned forward and pressed a soft kiss to her forehead. "Good. Because I have plans for us, Anna Washington. Big plans." That night, Anna lay in bed replaying every moment of the evening. Her life had changed so dramatically in such a short time that it still felt surreal. But the warmth in Jonathan's eyes and Hope's innocent happiness convinced her that this was real, and it was hers to keep. The next morning brought new energy to the household. Hope was excited about their shopping trip, chattering about all the flowers she wanted to plant. Jonathan surprised them both by announcing he would be working from home for the rest of the week. "Don't you have important meetings?" Anna asked. "Nothing more important than spending time with my family," he replied, and Anna's heart soared at being included in that statement. Their shopping trip was a success. Hope carefully selected a variety of flowers and plants, explaining to Anna which ones would bloom at different times of year. At the bookstore, Anna helped Hope choose several advanced science books, amazed at the child's comprehension level. "She could probably skip ahead several grades," Anna told Jonathan when they returned home. "I've thought about that, but I want her to have a normal childhood too. Friends her own age, time to play and be a kid." "You're a wonderful father," Anna said, watching Jonathan help Hope organize her new books. "I'm trying to be. It's not always easy doing it alone." "You're not alone anymore," Anna said softly. Jonathan looked up from the books, his expression intense. "No, I'm not." That evening, after Hope was asleep, Jonathan asked Anna to join him on the terrace overlooking the gardens. He had prepared coffee and dessert, clearly having put thought into creating a romantic atmosphere. "This is beautiful," Anna said, settling into the comfortable outdoor furniture. "Anna, I want to talk to you about something important." Anna's pulse quickened. "Okay. I meant what I said about courting you properly. I want to take this slowly, do things right. But I also want you to know that my intentions are serious." "What are you saying?" Jonathan took her hands in his. "I'm saying that I can already envision a future with you. I can see you as Hope's mother, as my wife, as part of this family permanently. I know it's early to be thinking about such things, but I wanted you to know where my heart is." Anna's breath caught. "Jonathan, I feel the same way. But are you sure? Really sure? I come from such a different world than yours." "Anna, look at me." His voice was commanding but gentle. "Your background doesn't matter to me. What matters is who you are now, how you love Hope, how you make both of us better people just by being in our lives. People will talk. They'll say I'm a gold digger, that I'm not good enough for you. Let them talk. I know the truth and so do you. Besides, anyone who meets you will see immediately what kind of person you are." Anna felt tears threatening again. "I love you, Jonathan. I love you both so much it scares me." "Don't be scared. Be excited. We're building something beautiful together." Jonathan lifted her hands to his lips, pressing gentle kisses to her knuckles. "I want to take you on a real date this weekend. Just the two of us. Mrs. Chen can stay with Hope." "I'd love that." "Good. I have something special planned." The rest of the week passed in a blur of happiness. Anna began homeschooling Hope, setting up the spare room as a proper classroom with supplies Jonathan had ordered. Hope was an eager student, particularly excelling in science and mathematics. "Look, Anna," Hope called out during their Friday lesson. "The plant cells look like little rooms under the microscope." Anna peered into the microscope Jonathan had purchased for their science experiments. "They do look like rooms. What do you think lives in those rooms?" "All the tiny parts that make the plant grow and stay alive." Anna was constantly amazed by Hope's quick understanding and natural curiosity. Teaching her was more joy than work. Friday evening, Jonathan announced his plans for their date. "I've made reservations at Le Bernardin for tomorrow night. It's a French restaurant downtown." "That sounds very fancy," Anna said nervously. "You'll be perfect," Jonathan assured her. "But we should probably go shopping for something special for you to wear." "Jonathan, I can't let you buy me expensive clothes." "Anna, please. Let me spoil you a little. Besides, I want to show you off." Hope, who had been listening to this conversation, clapped her hands excitedly. "Anna, you have to let Daddy buy you a pretty dress. I want to help pick it out." Looking at their eager faces, Anna realized she was fighting a losing battle. "Okay, but nothing too expensive." Jonathan and Hope exchanged a look that told Anna her definition of expensive was probably very different from theirs. Saturday morning, the three of them went to an upscale shopping district Anna had never visited before. The boutiques were intimidating, but Jonathan's confidence and Hope's enthusiasm made the experience fun rather than stressful. "This one," Hope announced, pointing to a navy blue dress in the window of an elegant store. The dress was simple but beautiful, with clean lines that would flatter Anna's figure without being too revealing. When she tried it on, even Anna had to admit she looked sophisticated and elegant. "You look like a princess," Hope declared when Anna emerged from the dressing room. "You look beautiful," Jonathan said, his voice slightly hoarse. "It's perfect," Anna agreed, checking the price tag and trying not to gasp. "We'll take it," Jonathan told the sales associate. "And shoes to match." Anna started to protest, but Jonathan silenced her with a look. "Let me do this, Anna. Please." That evening, as Anna prepared for their date, she felt like she was in a fairy tale. The dress fit perfectly, the shoes were comfortable despite their elegance, and Hope had insisted on helping with Anna's hair and makeup. "Daddy's going to fall down when he sees you," Hope announced with satisfaction. Anna laughed. "That's not the goal, sweetheart." "Yes, it is. Rebecca's mom says that's how you know a dress is working." When Anna came downstairs, Jonathan was waiting in the foyer wearing a perfectly tailored dark suit. His expression when he saw her made Anna feel like the most beautiful woman in the world. "Anna," he breathed, "you look stunning." "Thank you. You look pretty amazing yourself." Hope appeared at the top of the stairs in her pajamas. "Take a picture," she commanded. Mrs. Chin, who had arrived to stay with Hope, obligingly took several photos of the couple. Anna felt slightly overwhelmed by the formality of it all, but Jonathan's hand on her back steadied her. "Have fun," Hope called as they left. "And Daddy, remember to be a gentleman." "Always, Princess," Jonathan called back. In the car, Anna found herself nervously smoothing her dress. "I hope I don't embarrass you at this restaurant." "Anna, you could never embarrass me. You're gracious, intelligent, and kind. Any restaurant would be lucky to have you." Le Bernardin was even more elegant than Anna had imagined, with soft lighting, fresh flowers, and service so attentive it was almost invisible. Jonathan had requested a quiet corner table with a view of the city lights. "This is incredible," Anna said, looking around in wonder. "You're incredible," Jonathan replied. "I wanted our first real date to be special." The meal was exquisite, course after course of perfectly prepared French cuisine. Anna found herself relaxing as the evening progressed, Jonathan's easy conversation and obvious adoration making her feel comfortable in these unfamiliar surroundings. "Tell me about your dreams," Jonathan said over dessert. "What did you want to be when you were Hope's age?" "A teacher," Anna admitted. "I always loved helping other kids learn. But college was expensive and after my mother got sick." "You could still do that, you know. Become a teacher. I could help you go back to school." Anna's eyes widened. "You would do that?" "Anna, I want to help you achieve every dream you've ever had. Starting with the dream of being loved the way you deserve to be loved." Anna felt tears threatening. "How do you always know exactly what to say?" "It's easy when it's true." After dinner, Jonathan surprised her by having the driver take them to a small jazz club. The music was intimate and romantic, and when Jonathan asked her to dance, Anna felt like she was floating. "Thank you for tonight," she whispered as they swayed together. "It's been perfect." "It's just the beginning," Jonathan promised. "I have so many plans for us, Anna. Such as making you officially part of our family. Such as showing you the world. Such as loving you for the rest of my life." Anna pulled back to look at his face, searching for any sign that he wasn't serious. But his eyes held only truth and deep affection. "I love you too," she whispered. "Both of you. More than I ever thought possible." Jonathan spun her gently, then pulled her close again. "Then we're going to be very happy together." As they danced under the soft lights, Anna realized that her old life felt like a distant memory. She had found her home, her family, her future. And it was more beautiful than any dream she had ever dared to imagine. The weeks following Anna and Jonathan's first date brought a sense of settled happiness to the Rivers household. Anna had fully embraced her role as Hope's teacher, transforming the spare room into a proper classroom complete with science equipment, art supplies, and a cozy reading corner. "Anna, look what I grew." Hope burst into the kitchen one Monday morning, carefully carrying a small pot containing a bean plant that had sprouted over the weekend. "That's wonderful, sweetheart." Anna examined the healthy green shoots with appropriate enthusiasm. "What made it grow so well?" "The light, the water, and love," Hope announced. "You told me plants grow better when you talk to them nicely." Jonathan looked up from his coffee with amusement. "Is that scientifically proven?" "Actually, some studies suggest that sound vibrations can stimulate plant growth," Anna said, earning an impressed look from both father and daughter. "Though I think Hope's careful watering and attention probably had more to do with it." "I still think the love helped," Hope insisted, settling into her chair for breakfast. Anna had learned that Hope was not only academically gifted but also incredibly emotionally intelligent. The 8-year-old had a way of observing the adults around her and making connections that sometimes surprised Anna. "Are we still having lessons today?" Hope asked. "I want to start the volcano experiment." "After your physical therapy appointment," Anna confirmed. "Dr. Martinez wants to see how your coordination is improving." Hope's recovery had been remarkable. The physical therapist had been amazed by her progress, crediting the stable, loving environment at home for accelerating her healing. "Can Daddy come to PT with us?" Hope asked. "I want to show him my balance exercises." Jonathan was already shaking his head. "I have a board meeting at 10, Princess. But Anna can take pictures to show me later." "Please, Daddy? The meeting can wait, can't it?" Anna watched Jonathan's internal struggle. Since she had come to live with them, he had been making more effort to prioritize family time, but his business responsibilities were demanding. "Actually," Anna said carefully, "Dr. Martinez mentioned that Hope might be ready to reduce her appointments to twice a week instead of 3 times. She's made such good progress." "Really?" Jonathan's relief was evident. "That's wonderful news. The doctor wants to discuss it with you directly though. Parent input is important for these decisions." Jonathan checked his watch, then pulled out his phone. "Let me see if I can move the meeting to this afternoon." Anna felt a warm glow watching Jonathan reorganize his schedule for Hope. This was what family looked like, she realized. People making accommodations for each other, prioritizing relationships over obligations. 20 minutes later, the 3 of them were heading to the medical center together. Hope chattered excitedly in the back seat about showing off her improved balance and coordination. "Anna taught me some yoga poses," Hope announced. "They help with my stability." "Did she now?" Jonathan glanced at Anna with interest. "I didn't know you knew yoga." "I took some classes at the community center," Anna said modestly. "I thought gentle stretching might help with Hope's recovery." Dr. Martinez was indeed impressed with Hope's progress. "Her motor skills have improved dramatically," she told Jonathan and Anna. "Whatever you're doing at home is working beautifully." "Anna's been amazing," Jonathan said, his hand finding Anna's and squeezing gently. "Hope responds so well to her teaching methods." Anna felt a flush of pride and happiness. Being recognized as part of Hope's care team, as part of her family, still felt new and wonderful. "I think we can reduce appointments to twice weekly," Dr. Martinez confirmed. "And Hope can start participating in more normal activities. Swimming, playground time, even organized sports if she's interested." "Can I take dance classes?" Hope asked immediately. Anna and Jonathan exchanged glances. They had discussed Hope's desire to try ballet, but had been waiting for medical clearance. "I think dance would be excellent for continued coordination development," Dr. Martinez said. "Start with once a week and see how she tolerates it." On the drive home, Hope was practically bouncing with excitement. "Anna, Will you help me find a dance class? Can we go shopping for ballet shoes? If your daddy says it's okay, I'd love to help you find classes. Of course it's okay, Jonathan said. Anna, you know you don't need to ask permission for things like this. Your hopes. He paused, seeming to search for the right word. I'm Hope's what? Anna asked softly. Jonathan met her eyes in the rearview mirror. You're her family. You're both my family. That afternoon, while Hope worked on art projects, Anna found herself in the kitchen preparing dinner and thinking about Jonathan's words. They had been dating for several weeks now, taking things slowly but steadily growing closer. But he had never explicitly defined their relationship beyond saying he cared for her. Anna? Hope called from the playroom. Can you help me with this drawing? Anna found Hope working on a family portrait, carefully coloring with crayons. The picture showed 3 figures standing in front of a large house. That's beautiful, sweetheart. Tell me about it. This is you, Hope pointed to a figure with long brown hair wearing a blue dress. And this is Daddy in his business suit. And this is me in the middle. Anna studied the drawing, noting how Hope had positioned herself between the 2 adults, all 3 figures holding hands and smiling. We look very happy, Anna observed. We are happy. We're a real family now. Hope looked up at Anna with serious eyes. Anna, are you going to marry Daddy? The question caught Anna completely off guard. Hope, that's not something for you to worry about. I'm not worried. I want you to marry him. Then you'd really be my mommy, not just pretend. Anna's throat tightened with emotion. Sweetheart, I already love you like you're my daughter. Marriage doesn't change that. But it would make it official. Like how Daddy officially adopted me when I was a baby. Anna blinked in surprise. Adopted you? My birth mommy couldn't take care of me, so Daddy and Mommy Catherine adopted me when I was tiny. Then Mommy Catherine became my real mommy, and now she's in heaven. Anna felt her heart expand with new understanding. Jonathan had never mentioned that Hope was adopted. It explained the lack of physical resemblance between father and daughter, but more importantly, it showed Anna what kind of man Jonathan truly was. Your daddy must have loved you very much to choose you as his daughter, Anna said carefully. He says love makes a family, not blood. And I think he loves you the same way he loved Mommy Catherine. Before Anna could respond, Jonathan's voice called from the kitchen. Something smells amazing in here. Hope grabbed Anna's hand. Come on. Let's show Daddy my picture. Jonathan was loosening his tie when they entered the kitchen, looking tired but happy to be home. His face lit up when he saw them. How are my 2 favorite ladies? Daddy, look what I drew. Hope thrust the family portrait toward him. Jonathan studied the drawing carefully, his expression growing soft. This is beautiful, princess. Is this our family? Yes. Anna helped me make sure the colors were right. Do you like it? I love it. Should we put it on the refrigerator? As Jonathan hung Hope's drawing with great ceremony, Anna watched this man who had chosen to love and raise a child who wasn't biologically his. It made her love him even more. After dinner, while Hope played in the living room, Anna and Jonathan cleaned up together in comfortable companionship. Hope told me something interesting today, Anna said carefully. Oh? What's that? About how you adopted her. Jonathan's hands stilled on the dish he was drying. She told you about that? She mentioned it while explaining her family drawing. Jonathan, why didn't you ever tell me? Jonathan set down the dish and turned to face her. It never seemed relevant. Hope is my daughter in every way that matters. The circumstances of how she came to be part of my life don't change that. But they tell me so much about who you are. The kind of man who would choose to love a child who needed a home. Catherine and I always planned to adopt. We struggled with fertility issues for years, and adoption felt like the right path for us. When Hope came along, it was like she was meant to be ours all along. Anna felt tears prickling her eyes. She's lucky to have you. I'm the lucky one. Both times. Jonathan stepped closer, his hands coming up to frame Anna's face. First with Hope and now with you. Jonathan. Anna, I want to ask you something, and I want you to really think about your answer. Anna's heart began racing. Okay. How do you feel about the idea of adoption? Of choosing to love a child who might not share your DNA? Anna thought of Hope, of the love that had grown between them so naturally and completely. I think love makes a family, not genetics. Why? Jonathan's smile was radiant. Because someday I'd like you to officially adopt Hope. I'd like us to be a family in every legal sense. Anna's breath caught. Are you proposing? Not yet. But I'm telling you what I'm thinking about. What I'm hoping for. I want you to know that my intentions are completely serious. Anna threw her arms around Jonathan's neck, overwhelmed with happiness. Yes. Yes to all of it. To hope, to family, to whatever future you're imagining. Jonathan spun her around the kitchen, both of them laughing. From the living room, Hope's voice called out. Are you guys being mushy in there? Maybe a little, Jonathan called back, his arms still around Anna. Good. That's what families do. Anna and Jonathan looked at each other and burst into laughter. Hope was right. This was what families did. They loved each other openly, supported each other completely, and chose each other every single day. Have you ever experienced a moment when you realized that family isn't just about blood, but about the people who choose to love and support you unconditionally? Anna's journey from orphaned hospital worker to beloved family member shows us that sometimes the most beautiful families are the ones we choose for ourselves. What does family mean to you? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more heartwarming stories about love, family, and second chances. That night, as Anna tucked Hope into bed, the little girl grabbed her hand with unusual seriousness. Anna, I have something important to tell you. What is it, sweetheart? I've been thinking about what to call you. I know you're not my birth mommy, and you're not Mommy Catherine. But you're still my mommy now. Anna's heart clenched with emotion. You can call me whatever feels right to you, Hope. I want to call you Mama Anna. Is that okay? Tears spilled down Anna's cheeks as she pulled Hope into a tight hug. That's perfect, sweetheart. I would be honored to be your Mama Anna. Good. Because that's what I've been calling you in my prayers anyway. Anna kissed Hope's forehead, overwhelmed by the simple acceptance and love of this remarkable child. Sweet dreams, my precious girl. Sweet dreams, Mama Anna. As Anna left Hope's room, she found Jonathan waiting in the hallway. One look at her tear-stained face told him everything. Mama Anna? He asked softly. Mama Anna, Anna confirmed, walking into his open arms. I like the sound of that, Jonathan murmured against her hair. I like it very much. As they stood together in the quiet hallway of their home, Anna realized that she had found something she had never even known she was looking for. She had found her place in the world, her purpose, her family. And it was more beautiful than any dream she could have imagined. 3 months into their relationship, Anna had settled completely into her new life. Her days were filled with teaching Hope, managing the household, and slowly falling deeper in love with both father and daughter. What surprised her most was how natural it all felt, as if she had always belonged in this elegant world. The morning started like any other, with Hope bouncing into Anna's room at dawn, eager to begin their lessons. Mama Anna, wake up. Today we're going to dissect flowers, remember? Anna smiled sleepily, still getting used to the title Hope had chosen for her. Good morning, sunshine. Let me get dressed and we'll have breakfast first. Daddy's already in the kitchen making pancakes. He said it's a special day. Anna's curiosity was piqued. Jonathan hadn't mentioned anything special about today, though he had been acting slightly mysterious for the past week. In the kitchen, Anna found Jonathan at the stove, wearing casual clothes instead of his usual business attire. He looked younger and more relaxed, and her heart did its familiar flutter when he smiled at her. Good morning, beautiful, he said, leaning over to kiss her cheek. The casual intimacy still made Anna's pulse quicken. Good morning. Hope says today is special. It is. I've cleared my schedule completely. I thought the three of us could spend the entire day together. Anna felt a warm glow of happiness. Jonathan had been working incredibly hard lately, preparing for a major business expansion. Having him home for a full day was a rare treat. What did you have in mind? Anna asked, helping Hope get settled at the breakfast table. Well, after your flower dissection lesson, I thought we could drive out to that butterfly garden Hope has been wanting to visit. Then maybe lunch at that little cafe by the lake, and this evening? Jonathan paused, looking slightly nervous. This evening I have something special planned. Hope clapped her hands excitedly. Is it a surprise? I love surprises. It's definitely a surprise, Jonathan confirmed, his eyes meeting Anna's with an intensity that made her wonder what he was planning. The morning lesson went perfectly. Hope was fascinated by the intricate structure of the flowers they examined under her microscope, carefully drawing diagrams of petals, stamens, and pistils. Look, Mama Anna. The inside of this daisy looks like a tiny city. You're right, it does. Each little part has a job to do, just like people in a city. Jonathan watched from the doorway, and Anna caught him looking at her with such tenderness it took her breath away. The butterfly garden was magical. Hope ran from exhibit to exhibit, delighting in the colorful butterflies that landed on her outstretched hands. Anna and Jonathan walked hand in hand, watching their daughter with shared joy. "She's amazing," Anna said as Hope gently encouraged a monarch butterfly to perch on her finger. "She gets that from you," Jonathan replied. "The way you've nurtured her curiosity, helped her see wonder in everything, you've given her such a gift. She's given me a gift too. Both of you have." Jonathan stopped walking and turned to face Anna fully. "Anna, there's something I need to tell you." Anna's heart began to race. Something in his tone suggested this was important. "Okay. These past few months with you have been the happiest of my life since Catherine died. Watching you with Hope, seeing how completely you've embraced being part of our family, it's made me realize something." "What's that?" "I don't want to wait anymore. I don't want to take things slow or worry about what other people think. Life is too short and what we have is too precious." Before Anna could ask what he meant, Hope came running over, a butterfly still perched on her shoulder. "Look, this one likes me." "She has excellent taste," Jonathan said, ruffling Hope's hair. "Just like her daddy." They had lunch at the lakeside cafe, sitting on the outdoor deck with views of the water. Hope chattered about the butterflies while Anna and Jonathan listened with shared amusement. To anyone watching, they looked like any other happy family enjoying a day out together. "Daddy," Hope said suddenly, "are you nervous about something? You keep checking your watch." Jonathan laughed, caught in the act. "Just making sure we have time for all our plans today." "What else are we doing?" "That's still a surprise, princess." The afternoon passed in a blur of happiness. They walked around the lake, bought ice cream from a vendor, and played on the playground until Hope was tired but glowing with contentment. "This has been the best day ever," Hope announced as they drove home. "It's not over yet," Jonathan said mysteriously. At home, Anna was surprised to find Mrs. Chen waiting for them with dinner already prepared. "I didn't ask you to cook tonight," Anna said, confused. "Mr. Rivers arranged everything," Mrs. Chen replied with a knowing smile. "He wanted tonight to be special." During dinner, Jonathan seemed increasingly nervous, checking his phone and glancing toward the windows. Hope, exhausted from their busy day, ate quietly for once. "Daddy, you're acting weird," Hope finally announced. "Am I?" "I'm just excited about our surprise." "What surprise?" Hope perked up immediately. "After dinner. But first, Anna, I need you to change into something special. The blue dress you wore on our first date." Anna's confusion deepened. "Jonathan, what's going on?" "Trust me. Please." Anna went upstairs to change, her mind racing with possibilities. The blue dress brought back memories of their first date, the beginning of their romance. As she fixed her hair and applied light makeup, she wondered what Jonathan had planned. When she came back downstairs, she found the living room transformed. Candles flickered on every surface, soft music played from hidden speakers, and Hope was nowhere to be seen. "Where's Hope?" "Getting ready for her part in the surprise." "Anna, will you come outside with me?" Jonathan led her through the French doors onto the terrace. The entire garden had been lit with hundreds of tiny white lights, creating a magical wonderland. In the center of the lawn, a path of rose petals led to a small gazebo that hadn't been there that morning. "Jonathan," Anna breathed, "this is incredible. Come with me." They walked along the rose petal path, Anna's heart pounding with anticipation. As they reached the gazebo, she saw Hope waiting inside, wearing her best dress and holding a small bouquet of flowers. "Surprise!" Hope called out, beaming with excitement. Jonathan stepped into the gazebo and turned to face Anna, reaching into his jacket pocket. When his hand emerged, he was holding a small velvet box. Anna's legs nearly gave out. "Jonathan, what are you doing?" "Something I should have done weeks ago." Jonathan dropped to one knee, opening the box to reveal a stunning diamond ring that caught the fairy lights and sparkled like captured starlight. "Anna Washington," Jonathan began, his voice thick with emotion, "you came into our lives like an angel. You saved Hope's life, but more than that, you saved mine. You brought joy and laughter and love back into our home. You made us a family." Anna was crying now, her hands pressed to her mouth. "I love you with everything I am," Jonathan continued. "I love your kindness, your intelligence, your beautiful heart. I love watching you with Hope, seeing how completely you've embraced being her mother. I love the way you make every day brighter just by being in it." Hope stepped forward, holding out the bouquet. "Anna, Daddy wants to ask you something important." Jonathan smiled at his daughter, then looked back at Anna. "Anna, will you marry me? Will you officially become Hope's mother and my wife? Will you let us love you for the rest of our lives?" Anna looked at this man who had changed everything for her, at the child who had claimed her heart completely, at the life they were offering her. It was more than she had ever dreamed possible. Yes, she whispered, then louder, yes. Of course yes. Jonathan slipped the ring onto her finger with shaking hands, then stood and swept her into his arms, spinning her around while Hope cheered and clapped. I love you, Anna said through her tears. I love you both so much. We love you too, Mama Anna, Hope said, wrapping her arms around both adults. As they stood together in the fairy tale garden, Anna realized that her old life felt like it had happened to someone else. She was no longer the struggling hospital worker with no family and few prospects. She was Anna Rivers' to-be, beloved mother and cherished fiancée, with a future brighter than any dream. When do we get married? Hope asked practically. Jonathan and Anna laughed, still holding each other close. Soon, Jonathan promised. Very soon. Good, Hope said with satisfaction. I want to be the flower girl, and I want a really big cake, and I want Mama Anna to wear a princess dress. Whatever you want, sweetheart, Anna said, kissing the top of Hope's head. This is your special day too. As they walked back to the house together, Anna marveled at how quickly life could change. 6 months ago she had been alone in the world. Now she had a family, a home, and a love deeper than anything she had imagined possible. No regrets? Jonathan asked softly as they reached the terrace. Anna looked at her beautiful ring, at Hope skipping ahead of them, at the man who had chosen to love her completely. None, she said firmly. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Good, Jonathan said, pulling her close. Because I plan to spend the rest of my life making sure you never doubt that. As they entered their home together, Anna felt the final pieces of her new life clicking into place. She was no longer just Anna Washington, hospital employee. She was Anna, beloved fiancée and mother, part of a family that chose love over everything else. And it was perfect. The morning after Jonathan's proposal, Anna woke with sunlight streaming through her bedroom windows and a diamond ring on her finger that still felt like a beautiful dream. She lay in bed for a few moments, turning her hand to watch the light catch the facets of the stone, still hardly believing this was her life now. Mama Anna, are you awake? We have wedding plans to make. Hope's voice carried through the door, followed by excited knocking. Anna laughed, rolling out of bed to answer the door. She found Hope fully dressed and practically vibrating with enthusiasm, holding a notebook and several magazines. Good morning, sweetheart. You're up early. I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about all the things we need to do for the wedding. Look. Hope held up the notebook, which was already filled with her careful 8-year-old handwriting. I made lists. Anna took the notebook, amazed by Hope's thoroughness. The little girl had written down everything from flowers and cake, to photographer, and wedding favors. This is very impressive, Hope. When did you have time to make all these lists? I started planning last night after Daddy tucked me in. I've been thinking about this for weeks. You have? Of course. I knew Daddy was going to propose soon. He kept acting all nervous and looking at jewelry websites when he thought I wasn't watching. Anna smiled at Hope's perceptiveness. So you weren't surprised last night? I was surprised by how pretty everything looked, but not surprised about the proposal. I've been ready for ages. Hope flipped through her notebook. I already know what kind of dress I want to wear, and I think we should have the wedding in the garden, and I want to walk down the aisle first to spread flower petals for you. Those all sound like wonderful ideas. But shouldn't we talk to your daddy about this? Talk to me about what? Jonathan's voice came from the hallway. He appeared in the doorway wearing running clothes, his hair damp with sweat. Even rumpled from exercise, he made Anna's heart skip. Hope has been making wedding plans, Anna explained, holding up the notebook. Jonathan's eyebrows rose as he looked at the detailed lists. Princess, when did you become a wedding planner? Someone has to organize everything. You and Anna are going to be too busy being mushy to think about important details. Anna and Jonathan exchanged amused glances over Hope's head. She has a point, Jonathan said. We probably will be pretty distracted. Exactly. So I figured out that we need to pick a date first, then everything else can be planned around that. Hope looked between them expectantly. So when are you getting married? Jonathan sat down on Anna's bed, pulling Hope onto his lap. Well, what do you think would be a good time? Soon. Hope said immediately. Why wait when you already love each other? Anna felt her cheeks warm. Hope, planning a wedding takes time. There are lots of details to organize. But not if we keep it simple, Jonathan said thoughtfully. Anna, how do you feel about a small ceremony? Just close friends and family? Anna's heart swelled. I'd love that. I don't need anything elaborate. Just something meaningful. See. Hope bounced on Jonathan's lap. Simple is better. We could have the wedding right here in our garden. And Mrs. Chen could make the cake. And we could invite my dance teacher and Dr. Martinez because they're like family too. Jonathan looked at Anna with raised eyebrows. She really has thought of everything. I think Hope should be our official wedding planner, Anna said, earning a delighted squeal from the little girl. Really? Can I pick the flowers and everything? Within reason, Jonathan said with a smile. But yes, you can help plan everything. Hope threw her arms around both of them. This is going to be the best wedding ever. Later that morning, while Hope worked on expanding her wedding plans, Anna and Jonathan sat together on the terrace with coffee, finally having a chance to talk privately about their engagement. Any second thoughts? Jonathan asked, taking her hand and running his thumb over her engagement ring. None. You. Only that I waited so long to ask you. Jonathan lifted her hand to his lips. Anna, I want you to know that last night wasn't just about romance. When I asked you to marry me, I meant every word. I want you to be my wife, Hope's legal mother, my partner in everything. Anna felt tears prick her eyes. I want all of that too. I've never wanted anything more. Good. Because I've already spoken to my lawyer about the adoption papers. If you're willing, we can start the process immediately so that by the time we're married, everything will be legal. You've already contacted your lawyer? I've been thinking about this for weeks, Anna. I wanted to be ready when I proposed. Anna was overwhelmed by his thoughtfulness. Yes, of course I want to adopt Hope legally. She's already my daughter in every way that matters. She's going to be thrilled. She's been asking about changing her name to include yours. What do you mean? She wants to be Hope Rivers Washington. She says it sounds more complete that way. Anna's throat tightened with emotion. She wants to hyphenate her name? She says you saved her life, so your name should be part of hers. I told her it was up to you, but I think it's a beautiful idea. I would be honored, Anna whispered. They were interrupted by Hope running onto the terrace, her notebook clutched in one hand and Anna's phone in the other. Mama Anna. Your phone was ringing. It's someone named Rebecca. Anna took the phone, confused. She didn't know anyone named Rebecca. Hello. Hi, is this Anna Washington? This is Rebecca Martinez from Metropolitan Hospital. I was your supervisor in housekeeping. Anna's stomach dropped. Oh, hi Rebecca. Is everything okay? I'm calling with some wonderful news. The hospital board has decided to create a new position, and we'd like to offer it to you. Director of Patient Experience. It would involve training staff on compassionate care, and the salary is quite substantial. Anna looked at Jonathan and Hope, both watching her with interest. Her old life felt like it belonged to someone else entirely. That's very kind of you to think of me, Rebecca, but I'm not available for employment right now. Oh, are you working somewhere else? Because this position would come with full benefits and... I'm engaged, Anna said simply. I'm getting married and I have other commitments. Engaged? Anna, that's wonderful. Well, if things change, please keep us in mind. The position will remain open for a while. After Anna hung up, Hope looked at her with wide eyes. They wanted you to come back to work at the hospital? Yes, but I told them no. My place is here with you and your daddy. Good, Hope said firmly. Because we need you here. Besides, you're already the best teacher in the world. Jonathan squeezed Anna's hand. You don't regret turning that down? Not even for a second. This is my life now. This is where I belong. The next few days passed in a whirlwind of wedding planning. Hope threw herself into the project with characteristic enthusiasm, while Anna and Jonathan handled the legal and logistical details. True to his word, Jonathan had contacted his lawyer immediately about the adoption papers. Anna found herself sitting in an elegant law office, signing documents that would make her Hope's legal mother. This is quite unusual, the lawyer commented. Most people wait until after the wedding for adoptions. Our family doesn't follow traditional timelines, Jonathan said, his hand resting on Anna's shoulder. Besides, Anna has been Hope's mother in every way that matters for months now. When they told Hope that the adoption was in process, the little girl literally jumped for joy. So I can officially call you Mama Anna forever and ever? Forever and ever, Anna confirmed, pulling Hope into a tight hug. And I can change my name to Hope Rivers Washington? If that's what you want. It is. And when you and Daddy get married, we'll all have connected names and be a real family in every way. Anna marveled at Hope's understanding of what family meant. This child who had been through so much loss had embraced the concept of chosen family with remarkable maturity. That evening, Anna was in her room looking through bridal magazines Hope had brought her when Jonathan knocked on her door. Come in. Jonathan entered carrying a bottle of champagne and 2 glasses. I thought we should celebrate properly. Just the two of us. That sounds perfect. Jonathan poured the champagne and handed Anna a glass. To us. To our family. To the most beautiful future I can imagine. They clinked glasses and sipped the champagne, but Anna noticed Jonathan seemed nervous about something. What's on your mind? She asked. Actually, there's something else I want to discuss with you. About the wedding. Okay. Hope has her heart set on having the ceremony here at home, and I love that idea. But Anna, I want to make sure you get the wedding you've always dreamed of. If you want something bigger, more elaborate, we can arrange that. Anna set down her champagne glass and took Jonathan's hands. The wedding I've always dreamed of is one where I marry the man I love, surrounded by the people who matter most to us. Everything else is just decoration. Are you sure? Because I can give you anything you want. A destination wedding, a huge celebration, whatever would make you happy. Jonathan, look at me. Anna waited until his eyes met hers. The only thing that would make me happy is being your wife and Hope's mother. I don't need a fancy wedding. I need you. Jonathan's smile was radiant. I love you so much, Anna. I love you too. Jonathan reached into his pocket and pulled out a small wrapped box. I have something for you. Anna looked at the box with surprise. Another gift? Open it. Inside the box was a delicate gold necklace with a small pendant in the shape of a heart. But when Anna looked closer, she saw that it wasn't just one heart, but 3 hearts interlinked. It represents our family, Jonathan explained as he fastened the necklace around her neck. The 3 of us, connected forever. Anna touched the pendant, tears threatening again. It's perfect. There's one more thing. Hope has one too, and so do I. Jonathan pulled his own necklace from under his shirt, revealing an identical pendant. You're wearing a heart necklace? Jonathan laughed. Hope insisted. She said we all needed to match. Anna burst into laughter, imagining Hope convincing her powerful CEO father to wear jewelry. I love her so much. She loves you too. We both do. More than you'll ever know. As they sat together in Anna's room, sipping champagne and talking about their future, Anna reflected on how much her life had changed. 6 months ago, she had been alone in the world, struggling to make ends meet. Now she was engaged to a wonderful man, about to become the legal mother of an amazing child, planning a wedding in a fairy tale garden. Jonathan, can I ask you something? Anything. Do you think Catherine would approve? Of us, I mean. Of me becoming Hope's mother. Jonathan was quiet for a moment, considering his answer carefully. I think Catherine would be grateful beyond words that Hope has someone who loves her as completely as you do. And I think she would be happy that I found love again, especially with someone so worthy of it. I hope so. I never want Hope to feel like I'm trying to replace her first mother. Anna, you're not replacing anyone. You're adding to Hope's story, giving her more love, not taking anything away. That little girl has room in her heart for all the people who love her. Anna nodded, comforted by his words. I want to do right by both of you. You already are. Every single day. As Jonathan prepared to leave for his own room, he paused at the door. Anna, there's one more thing we should discuss. The wedding date. What about it? How do you feel about 3 weeks from Saturday? Anna's eyes widened. That's soon. Too soon. Anna thought about it for exactly 3 seconds. Not soon enough. Jonathan's grin was boyish and delighted. Perfect. Hope will be thrilled. She's been worried we might drag this out for months. After Jonathan left, Anna lay in bed fingering her new necklace and thinking about the whirlwind her life had become. 3 weeks from Saturday she would become Mrs. Jonathan Rivers. 3 weeks from Saturday she would officially become Hope's mother. 3 weeks from Saturday her fairy tale would be complete. She fell asleep with a smile on her face, dreaming of garden weddings and the little girl who had called her Mama Anna from the very beginning. The Rivers household transformed into a flurry of joyful activity as wedding preparations began in earnest. Hope took her role as wedding planner very seriously, carrying her notebook everywhere and checking items off her ever-growing lists with the satisfaction of a professional event coordinator. Mama Anna, we need to talk about your dress, Hope announced over breakfast 3 days after the engagement. I've been doing research. Anna looked at the stack of bridal magazines Hope had somehow acquired. Research? Mrs. Chen's daughter got married last year, and she told me all about wedding dresses. You need something that makes you look like a princess but also makes you feel like yourself. Jonathan looked up from his laptop with amusement. That's very specific criteria, princess. It's important, Daddy. The dress has to be perfect because everyone will be looking at Mama Anna. Anna felt a flutter of nervousness. Hope, it's going to be a small wedding, remember? Just close family and friends. Still, you have to look beautiful. Anna always looks beautiful, Jonathan said, earning a warm smile from Anna and an exaggerated gagging sound from Hope. You, Daddy. Save the mushy stuff for after you're married. That afternoon, Hope insisted they go dress shopping. Anna had been dreading this part of wedding planning, worried about finding something appropriate that wouldn't cost a fortune. But Hope had already researched several bridal boutiques and had specific ideas about what would work. This one specializes in elegant but not too fancy dresses, Hope explained as they pulled up to a charming boutique downtown. And they have good reviews for being nice to brides who don't want huge poofy dresses. Anna squeezed Hope's hand. How did I get so lucky to have such a smart daughter? You saved my life, so I'm going to help make your wedding perfect. It's only fair. Inside the boutique, Anna was relieved to find the atmosphere warm and welcoming rather than intimidating. The sales associate, a woman named Linda, immediately made them feel comfortable. We're looking for something elegant but simple, Anna explained. It's going to be a garden wedding, very intimate. I have some beautiful ideas for that setting, Linda said. What's your timeline? 3 weeks, Hope announced proudly. Linda's eyebrows rose slightly, but she didn't seem fazed. That's tight but manageable. Let's find something perfect. The first dress Anna tried on was lovely but felt too formal. The second was too casual. But the third dress made both Anna and Hope gasp when she emerged from the dressing room. The dress was ivory silk with a flowing aligned skirt and delicate lace sleeves. It was elegant without being ostentatious, romantic without being overly fussy. The neckline was modest but flattering, and the overall effect was timeless and beautiful. That's it, Hope breathed. That's the one. Anna turned to look at herself in the three-way mirror and felt tears prick her eyes. She looked like a bride. She looked like herself, but transformed into the most beautiful version of herself she had ever seen. What do you think? Linda asked gently. I think it's perfect, Anna whispered. The fit is excellent, and I can have the alterations done within 2 weeks easily, Linda assured them. Would you like to add a veil? Yes. Hope said immediately. Something simple and pretty that won't cover up Mama Anna's face. They found a fingertip-length veil with subtle beading that complemented the dress perfectly. As Anna stood in front of the mirror in her complete wedding outfit, Hope clapped her hands together with delight. Daddy is going to fall over when he sees you. That's not the goal, sweetheart, Anna laughed. Yes, it is. That's how you know the dress is working. On the drive home, Hope was unusually quiet, staring out the window with a thoughtful expression. What's on your mind, Hope? Anna asked. I was thinking about my first mommy, Catherine. Do you think she would like your dress? Anna's heart clenched. What do you think? I think she would love it. I think she would be happy that Daddy found someone who makes him smile again. And I think she would be glad that I'm getting a new mommy who loves me so much. Anna had to pull over because her eyes were too full of tears to drive safely. She turned in her seat to face Hope, who was looking at her with the wise eyes of a child who had experienced loss but chose love anyway. Hope, you are the most remarkable little girl I've ever known. Your first mommy raised you to have such a beautiful heart. She did. But you're helping it grow even bigger. When they got home, Jonathan was waiting in the living room with a mysterious smile. How did the dress shopping go? He asked. Perfect, Hope announced. But you can't see it until the wedding day. It's bad luck. I'll take your word for it. Did you find everything you needed? Almost everything. We still need to pick flowers and finalize the menu with Mrs. Chen. Oh, and we need to call the photographer that Mrs. Chen recommended. Anna marveled at Hope's organizational skills. When did you become such an expert at event planning? I've been preparing for this my whole life, Hope said seriously. I always knew Daddy would get married again someday and I wanted to be ready to help. That evening, while Hope worked on her homework, Anna and Jonathan sat together in his study going over the final guest list. Anna's side was small, just a few close friends from the hospital and her former neighbor who had been like a grandmother to her. Jonathan's list included his business partner and best friend Michael, along with a few close family friends. That's it? Anna asked, looking at the modest list. Just 20 people? Is that too few? We can invite more people if you want. No, it's perfect. I was just thinking how different this is from what most people expect for a billionaire's wedding. Jonathan set down his pen and turned to face her. Anna, I don't want to be most people. I want to be us. I want our wedding to reflect who we are as a family, not what society expects from someone with money. And who are we as a family? We're people who choose love over everything else. We're people who value relationships more than appearances. We're people who believe that the best celebrations are intimate ones, surrounded by the people who truly matter. Anna leaned over and kissed him softly. I love you for that. I love you for understanding it. The next week flew by in a whirlwind of activity. Hope supervised the flower arrangements with the intensity of a general commanding troops. Mrs. Chen worked tirelessly on menu planning, creating a feast that would be elegant but comfortable. The photographer, a kind woman named Sarah who specialized in intimate family celebrations, came by to discuss the timeline and scout locations in the garden. This is going to be beautiful, Sarah said, taking test shots of the gazebo where the ceremony would take place. The natural lighting here is perfect for late afternoon. Anna watched Sarah work, still occasionally pinching herself to make sure this was all real. In 2 weeks she would walk down a petal-strewn path to marry the man of her dreams, with their daughter as flower girl. Mama Anna, Hope said, tugging on her hand, we need to practice my flower girl walk. I want to make sure I spread the petals evenly. They spent an hour practicing Hope's processional, with Anna and Jonathan giving gentle guidance on pacing and petal distribution. Hope took her role very seriously, determined to create the perfect path for Anna's walk down the aisle. Remember, Hope instructed Anna, when you walk behind me, you need to look happy but not too smiley, because you want to look elegant for the pictures. Where did you learn about wedding etiquette? Jonathan asked, amused. Mrs. Chen's daughter told me everything. She said the flower girl has very important responsibilities. That night, as Anna tucked Hope into bed, the little girl grabbed her hand with unusual seriousness. Mama Anna, are you nervous about getting married? A little bit. But mostly I'm excited. Are you nervous? No, I'm ready. I've been ready for you to be my official mommy for a long time. Hope paused, then added quietly, I just want everything to be perfect for you. Anna's throat tightened with emotion. Sweetheart, it will be perfect because you and your daddy will be there. That's all I need. But what if I mess up my flower girl job? What if I drop all the petals in one spot or trip on my dress? Anna smoothed Hope's hair gently. Hope, listen to me. Even if everything went wrong, even if it rained or the cake fell over or the flowers died, it would still be the most perfect day of my life. Do you know why? Why? Because it's the day I officially become your mommy and daddy's wife. Nothing else matters compared to that. Hope's smile was radiant. Really? Really? You could walk down that aisle backwards throwing handfuls of grass instead of flower petals, and I would still think it was the most beautiful wedding ever. Hope giggled at the image. I promise to throw flower petals, not grass. Deal. As Anna prepared for bed, she reflected on how much her life had changed in such a short time. 6 months ago, she had been alone and struggling. Now she was surrounded by love, planning a wedding to a man who adored her, preparing to officially become mother to a child who had already claimed her heart completely. Tomorrow would bring more wedding preparations, more decisions to make, more excitement to build. But tonight, Anna felt nothing but gratitude for the unexpected turns that had brought her to this moment. In less than 2 weeks, she would become Anna Rivers' wife and mother, surrounded by the family she had never dared to dream she could have. The morning of the wedding dawned bright and clear, with gentle sunshine and a soft breeze that seemed designed for outdoor celebrations. Anna woke to find Hope already dressed and sitting by her bedroom window, watching the wedding preparations taking place in the garden below. Good morning, sweetheart, Anna said, sitting beside Hope on the window seat. You're up early. I couldn't sleep. Look how beautiful everything looks. Anna gazed out at the transformed garden. White chairs were arranged in perfect rows facing the gazebo, which had been decorated with cascading flowers and flowing white fabric. Tiny lights twinkled in the trees, and a white runner stretched down what would soon be the aisle. It looked like a fairy tale come to life. Mrs. Chen has been up since 5 o'clock making sure everything is perfect, Hope reported. And the flower delivery truck just left. Want to see my basket? Hope pulled out a beautiful wicker basket lined with ivory silk and filled with rose petals and shades of pink and white. She had been practicing her flower girl technique for weeks and was clearly ready for her moment to shine. It's beautiful, Hope. Are you nervous? Not nervous. Excited. I get to be the first person to walk down the aisle, and I get to make it pretty for you to follow. Anna hugged Hope close, overwhelmed with love for this remarkable child who had embraced their new family with such joy and enthusiasm. We should have breakfast and then start getting ready, Anna said. Sarah wants to take some pre-ceremony photos, and your daddy is probably wondering where we are. They found Jonathan in the kitchen, looking handsome but slightly nervous in casual clothes, his hair still damp from the shower. "Good morning, my beautiful ladies," he said, pulling them both into a group hug. "Ready for the big day?" "More than ready," Anna said, feeling a flutter of excitement in her stomach. "Daddy, you look nervous," Hope observed. "Are you worried about something?" "Just want everything to be perfect for your mama, Anna," Jonathan admitted. "It will be perfect," Hope said with the confidence of an 8-year-old. "I checked all my lists 3 times and everything is exactly right." After a light breakfast, Anna and Hope retreated upstairs to begin getting ready. Sarah, the photographer, arrived to capture the preparation process, along with Anna's friend Jessica from the hospital who had volunteered to help with hair and makeup. "Anna, you look radiant," Jessica said as she began working on Anna's hair. "I've never seen you this happy." "I've never been this happy," Anna replied, watching in the mirror as Jessica created an elegant updo that would complement her veil perfectly. Hope sat nearby, already dressed in her flower girl dress, a beautiful cream-colored creation with delicate embroidery that made her look like a little princess. She was carefully applying lip gloss with the concentration of an artist. "Hope, you look absolutely gorgeous," Anna said. "Thank you. Mrs. Chin helped me pick out the dress. She said it needed to be special but not too fancy so I wouldn't outshine the bride." Anna laughed. "I don't think there's any danger of you outshining anyone, sweetheart. You're going to be the most beautiful flower girl anyone has ever seen." As Anna's makeup was completed and her dress was carefully arranged, she began to feel the reality of the day settling in. In just a few hours she would be married to Jonathan, and Hope would officially become her daughter. "Anna," Jessica said softly, "I need to tell you something." "What is it?" "When you disappeared from the hospital so suddenly, we were all worried about you. But seeing you now, seeing how happy you are, I can't imagine a more perfect ending to your story." Anna felt tears threaten and had to blink carefully to protect her makeup. "Thank you, Jess. That means so much." A knock on the door interrupted them. "Anna?" Jonathan's voice called from the hallway. "I have something for you, but I can't see you in your dress." "I'll get it." Hope jumped up and opened the door a crack, accepting a small wrapped box from her father. "Tell her it's from both of us," Jonathan said. "And tell her I love her." Hope closed the door and handed Anna the box. "It's from me and Daddy, and he said to tell you he loves you." Inside the box was a pair of diamond earrings, delicate drops that would complement her dress perfectly. But what made Anna's breath catch was the note tucked inside. "Anna, these belong to my grandmother, who had the happiest marriage I've ever known. She would have loved you and been so proud to welcome you into our family. Wear them today as a symbol of all the love that surrounds you. Jonathan." "Oh," Anna whispered, tears threatening again. "They're beautiful," Hope said, admiring the earrings. "And they match your ring perfectly." Jessica helped Anna put on the earrings, then stepped back to admire the complete look. "Anna, you are absolutely stunning." Jonathan is going to be speechless. Anna turned to look at herself in the full-length mirror and gasped. The dress, the hair, the makeup, the jewelry, all came together to create a vision she had never imagined possible. She looked like a bride, but more than that, she looked like herself, the best version of herself. "Do I look okay?" Anna asked, suddenly nervous. "You look perfect," Hope said firmly. "Like a princess who's about to marry her prince and live happily ever after." Downstairs, guests were beginning to arrive. Anna could hear voices and laughter floating up from the garden as friends and family gathered for the celebration. Her stomach fluttered with excitement and nerves. "Are you ready, Mama Anna?" Hope asked, picking up her flower basket. "I'm ready." They made their way downstairs, where Michael, Jonathan's best friend and business partner, was waiting to escort Anna down the aisle. He was a kind man in his 40s who had become fast friends with Anna over the past few weeks. "Anna, you look absolutely radiant," Michael said, offering her his arm. "Jonathan is the luckiest man alive." "Thank you, Michael." "Is he nervous?" "Terrified," Michael admitted with a grin. "But in the best possible way." Sarah positioned them at the edge of the garden for the processional. Anna could see the guests seated in their white chairs, faces turned expectantly toward the gazebo where Jonathan stood waiting with the minister. Even from a distance, she could see how handsome he looked in his perfectly tailored dark suit. The string quartet began playing, and Hope took her position at the front of the procession. She looked back at Anna with a brilliant smile. "See you at the altar, Mama Anna." Hope began her walk down the aisle, moving with careful precision as she scattered rose petals along the white runner. Anna watched with pride as her daughter performed her role flawlessly, creating a beautiful path of flowers. When Hope reached the gazebo, she took her position to one side and gave Anna an encouraging thumbs up that made several guests chuckle. Then the music changed to the bridal march and it was Anna's turn. Michael squeezed her arm gently. "Ready? Ready." Anna began walking down the petal-strewn aisle, her eyes locked on Jonathan's face. She saw the moment he first glimpsed her in her wedding dress, saw his expression transform from nervous anticipation to wonder and love. His smile was radiant, and she could see tears gathering in his eyes. The garden was beautiful, the guests were smiling, the flowers were perfect, but Anna only had eyes for the man waiting for her at the altar. This was the moment her new life truly began. When she reached the gazebo, Michael placed her hand in Jonathan's and stepped back. Jonathan's fingers intertwined with hers, warm and steady and sure. "You look incredible," he whispered. "So do you," she whispered back. The minister began the ceremony with words about love, commitment, and family. But Anna barely heard the formal language because she was lost in Jonathan's eyes, in the reality of this moment she had never dared to dream could be hers. "Jonathan and Anna have chosen to write their own vows," the minister announced. Jonathan went first, pulling a folded paper from his pocket with slightly shaking hands. "Anna," he began, his voice strong despite his obvious emotion, "6 months ago, you walked into our lives and changed everything. You saved Hope's life, but more than that, you saved mine. You brought light back into our home, laughter back into our days, and love back into our hearts. You loved my daughter as if she were your own from the very first moment, and you showed me what it meant to be part of a family again." Anna felt tears streaming down her cheeks as Jonathan continued. "I promise to love you, cherish you, and protect you for all the days of my life. I promise to support your dreams and help you achieve everything you've ever wanted. I promise to be the husband you deserve and the partner you need. Most of all, I promise that you will never again have to face the world alone, because we are your family now and forever." Anna could barely see Jonathan through her tears as she pulled out her own vows. "Jonathan," she said, her voice trembling with emotion, "you gave me everything I never knew I needed. You gave me a home, a family, a love deeper than anything I ever imagined possible. You trusted me with hope, the most precious thing in your world, and you made me feel worthy of that trust. You saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself, and you loved me not despite my background, but because of who I am." Anna looked at Hope, who was watching with rapt attention, then back at Jonathan. "I promise to love you with all my heart for all my life. I promise to be the best mother I can be to Hope and any children we might have together. I promise to stand by your side through every joy and every challenge. I promise to choose love over fear, trust over doubt, and hope over despair. And I promise that wherever life takes us, we'll face it together as a family." The minister smiled as both bride and groom wiped away tears. "Jonathan, do you take Anna to be your wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do you part?" "I do," Jonathan said firmly. "Anna, do you take Jonathan to be your husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do you part?" "I do," Anna said without hesitation. "The rings, please." Hope stepped forward importantly, carrying a small pillow with their wedding bands. Jonathan slipped a simple platinum band next to Anna's engagement ring, and Anna placed a matching band on Jonathan's finger. "By the power vested in me by the state, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Jonathan, you may kiss your bride." Jonathan cupped Anna's face gently and kissed her as their guests erupted in applause and Hope cheered loudly. When they broke apart, both were crying and laughing at the same time. "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan Rivers." As they walked back down the aisle together, Anna felt like she was floating. She was married. She was Mrs. Rivers. She was Hope's official mother. She was part of a family that chose love above everything else. The reception was held on the terrace, with round tables covered in white linens and centerpieces of the same flowers that had decorated the ceremony. Mrs. Chin had outdone herself with a menu that was both elegant and comforting, and the 3-tiered wedding cake was a masterpiece of vanilla and raspberry that Hope had specifically requested. To the bride and groom. Michael raised his glass for the toast. "Jonathan, Anna, and Hope have shown us all what it means to create a family through love rather than just circumstance. May your marriage be filled with all the joy, laughter, and love that brought you together." As the evening progressed, Anna found herself overwhelmed by happiness. She danced with Jonathan to their first song as husband and wife, twirled Hope around the dance floor, and accepted congratulations from friends who all seemed genuinely delighted by this unexpected love story. Have you ever experienced a moment when everything in your life aligned perfectly, when all the struggles and setbacks suddenly made sense because they led you to exactly where you needed to be. Anna's journey from struggling hospital worker to beloved wife and mother reminds us that sometimes the most beautiful stories begin with the most unexpected plot twists. What unexpected turns have led to your greatest happiness? Share your stories in the comments and subscribe for more inspiring tales of love, family, and second chances. Late in the evening, as the last guests were saying goodbye, Anna, Jonathan, and Hope stood together on the terrace, still in their wedding clothes but barefoot and relaxed. "Best day ever," Hope announced, leaning against Anna's side. "The best," Anna agreed, wrapping her arm around her daughter. "Just the beginning," Jonathan added, pulling them both close. As they looked out over the garden where they had just pledged their lives to each other, Anna reflected on the incredible journey that had brought them to this moment. 6 months ago she had been alone in the world, struggling to survive. Tonight she was surrounded by more love than she had ever thought possible. "Ready to start our happily ever after?" Jonathan asked. Anna looked at her husband, at their daughter, at the home they had built together through love and choice and unwavering commitment to each other. "More than ready," she said. "Let's begin." 1 year later, Anna woke on a sunny Saturday morning with Jonathan's arm draped protectively over her growing belly. At 6 months pregnant, she was finally showing enough that Hope had taken to having daily conversations with her future sibling, updating the baby on everything from school activities to weather reports. "Good morning, beautiful," Jonathan murmured against her neck, his hand moving to rest on her bump. "How are my girls feeling today?" Anna stretched carefully, mindful of her changing body. The past year had been a whirlwind of happiness, adjustment, and growth. Their wedding had been perfect, the adoption paperwork had been finalized making her officially Hope's mother, and now they were preparing to welcome another member to their family. "We're feeling wonderful," Anna replied, turning to face her husband. Though little Lily decided to practice her gymnastics routine at 3 in the morning. Jonathan's eyes lit up at the mention of their daughter's name. They had chosen Lily Rose Rivers after much family discussion, honoring Catherine's memory while giving their new daughter her own special identity. "She's going to be a handful," Jonathan said with obvious delight. "Just like her big sister." "Speaking of Hope, where is she? It's usually impossible to keep her in bed past sunrise on weekends." "She's been up for an hour working on her surprise for you. She's very secretive about it, but I think it involves glitter and construction paper." Anna laughed, imagining Hope hunched over some elaborate craft project. At 9 years old, Hope had developed into a confident, creative child who approached every day with enthusiasm and joy. The transformation from the frightened hospital patient to this vibrant little girl never ceased to amaze Anna. "I should get up and see what she's creating," Anna said, though she was reluctant to leave the comfortable warmth of Jonathan's embrace. "Stay here for a few more minutes," Jonathan said, his hand making gentle circles on her belly. "Let me enjoy having my wife to myself before Hope takes over your entire day with her latest project." Anna settled back into his arms, marveling at how natural this felt. Marriage to Jonathan had been easier than she had ever imagined possible. He was patient, thoughtful, and completely devoted to both her and Hope. More importantly, he had never made Anna feel like she needed to change who she was to fit into his world. "Jonathan, can I tell you something?" "Always. Sometimes I still can't believe this is my life. When I wake up in this beautiful room in this incredible house, married to you and expecting our baby, it feels like I'm living someone else's dream." Jonathan shifted to look at her directly, his expression serious. "Anna, this isn't someone else's dream. This is your life. You earned it, you deserve it, and you make it beautiful just by being in it." "But sometimes I think about that night at the hospital, about what would have happened if I hadn't noticed the 4 was wrong. Would we have ever met? Would Hope?" "Don't torture yourself with what-ifs," Jonathan said gently. "You did notice. You did save her. You did change all our lives for the better. That's what matters." Anna nodded, knowing he was right but still occasionally struggling with the magnitude of how much her life had changed. Going from struggling hospital worker to billionaire's wife and mother had required more adjustment than she had anticipated. "Besides," Jonathan continued with a smile, "if it hadn't been that night, it would have been some other way. I believe we were meant to find each other." "You really think so?" "I know so. Hope knew it from the moment she met you. She told me later that she had prayed for months for someone to come into our lives who would love us both. Then you appeared like an answer to her prayers." Anna felt tears threatening as they seemed to do frequently during pregnancy. Hope's faith and intuition had always been remarkable, but knowing that she had somehow sensed their family's future completion was deeply moving. "Mama Anna. Daddy. Are you awake up there? Hope's voice carried up from downstairs, accompanied by what sounded like excited footsteps. We're awake, princess. Jonathan called back. Give us 5 minutes. Okay, but hurry. I have something super important to show you. Anna and Jonathan exchanged amused glances. Hope's definition of super important ranged from finding an interesting bug in the garden to completing a complex art project. We better not keep her waiting, Anna said, beginning the careful process of getting out of bed with her growing belly. Jonathan immediately moved to help her, his hands steady and supportive. This kind of automatic consideration had become second nature to him over the months of Anna's pregnancy. Downstairs, they found Hope in the kitchen, practically vibrating with excitement. The table was set with their good china, fresh flowers from the garden, and what appeared to be a homemade breakfast spread. Surprise! Hope announced. I made breakfast for our family anniversary. Anna looked around the beautifully arranged table, noting the heart-shaped pancakes, fresh fruit salad, and carefully poured orange juice. Hope, sweetheart, this is incredible. But what do you mean by family anniversary? It's been exactly 1 year and 2 months since you moved in with us. Hope explained, consulting a small notebook she had apparently been keeping. I've been marking the calendar, and today is the day you officially became part of our family forever. Jonathan wrapped his arms around Anna from behind, his chin resting on her shoulder. She's been planning this for weeks, he whispered. She wanted to celebrate the exact day you said yes to staying with us permanently. Anna felt overwhelmed by Hope's thoughtfulness and attention to detail. This child, who had already experienced so much loss and change in her young life, had chosen to celebrate the moment their family truly began. Thank you, sweetheart, Anna said, pulling Hope into a gentle hug. This is the most thoughtful surprise anyone has ever given me. There's more. Hope announced, wiggling out of the hug to grab a wrapped package from the counter. I made something for you and Daddy and baby Lily. Anna carefully unwrapped the gift, revealing a beautifully decorated photo album. The cover read, The Rivers Family Story, in Hope's careful handwriting, decorated with drawings of flowers and hearts. Inside, Hope had chronicled their family's journey with photos, drawings, and written memories. The first page showed a picture of Anna on her first day at the house, looking slightly overwhelmed but smiling. Subsequent pages documented their first family dinner, Anna's birthday celebration, their engagement, the wedding, and dozens of small moments that Hope had somehow captured or remembered. Hope, this is extraordinary, Anna said, turning the pages with wonder. When did you find time to put all this together? I've been working on it for months. Mrs. Chin helped me print the pictures, and Daddy let me use his computer to write some of the stories. The final section of the album was titled, Waiting for Lily, and showed recent photos of Anna's pregnancy journey, pictures of the nursery they had prepared together, and Hope's own illustrations of what she imagined her baby sister would look like. This is the most precious gift I've ever received, Anna said, her voice thick with emotion. Thank you for documenting our story so beautifully. Every family needs a storybook, Hope said practically. And ours is the best story ever because it has a happy ending. As they sat down to enjoy Hope's carefully prepared breakfast, Anna reflected on her daughter's words. Their story did have a happy ending, but more than that, it had a happy beginning, middle, and continued happiness that showed no signs of fading. Tell me about school, Anna said as they ate. How are your friends handling the news about the baby? Hope's face lit up. Everyone is so excited. Rebecca Martinez said her mom wants to throw you a baby shower, and my teacher Mrs. Patterson asked if I could do a presentation about becoming a big sister. Anna smiled at Hope's enthusiasm. The little girl had embraced her upcoming role as big sister with characteristic determination, reading books about infant care and making lists of everything she wanted to teach baby Lily. What kind of presentation would you do? Jonathan asked. I want to talk about how families grow and change and how love gets bigger when new people join instead of getting divided up, Hope explained. Mrs. Patterson says that's a very mature understanding of family dynamics. Anna and Jonathan exchanged impressed glances. Hope's emotional intelligence continued to astound them both. After breakfast, they spent the morning in Hope's beloved garden. She had expanded her original herb and vegetable plots to include a special section she was preparing for Lily. I planted all the flowers that bloom in different seasons, Hope explained, showing Anna the carefully labeled rows. So Lily will have beautiful things to look at all year round when she gets old enough to walk in the garden. Anna watched Hope tend to her plants with such care and dedication, marveling at the nurturing instincts this child displayed. She was going to be an extraordinary big sister. Hope, can I ask you something? Anna said as they sat together on the garden bench. Of course, Mama Anna. Are you excited about the baby, or are you worried about anything? It's okay if you have mixed feelings. Hope considered the question seriously as she did most things. I'm mostly excited. But sometimes I wonder if you and Daddy will have less time for me when Lily comes. Anna's heart clenched at Hope's honesty. Sweetheart, look at me. Having Lily will never, ever change how much we love you. Love doesn't work like pizza, where if you give someone a bigger slice, everyone else gets less. Love is like the garden. The more you plant, the more beautiful everything becomes. Really? Really? You're always going to be our first daughter, our Hope. Lily can't change that, and we wouldn't want her to. Hope nodded, seeming satisfied with this explanation. I think I'll be good at being a big sister. I've been practicing with my dolls. I know you'll be amazing. You have such a caring heart. That afternoon, while Hope napped and Anna rested, she found Jonathan in his study working on something that appeared to be legal documents. What are you working on? She asked, settling into the comfortable chair across from his desk. Jonathan looked up with a smile that seemed to hold a secret. Actually, it's something for you. Well, for all of us. What kind of something? Jonathan set down his pen and leaned back in his chair. Anna, you know how much our family means to me. How much you and Hope mean to me. Of course. I've been thinking about the future, about what happens to our family if something ever happens to me. I want to make sure you and the girls are protected and provided for, no matter what. Anna felt a chill of worry. Jonathan, nothing is going to happen to you. I hope not. But I'm a responsible husband and father, which means planning for every possibility. Jonathan picked up the documents. I've been working with my lawyers to update my will and set up trust funds for you, Hope, and Lily. You don't need to. Yes, I do. Anna, you saved my daughter's life. You've given me more happiness than I thought possible. Let me do this one thing to show you how much our family means to me. Anna looked at this man who continued to find ways to show his love and commitment to their family. Thank you. For everything. For loving me, for loving our girls, for making me feel like I deserve all this happiness. You do deserve it, Anna. You deserve every beautiful thing life has to offer. That evening, as they sat together as a family watching Hope's favorite movie, Anna reflected on the journey that had brought them to this moment. The frightened woman who had discovered the poison seemed like a character from someone else's story. In her place was Anna Rivers, confident wife and mother, secure in her family's love, excited about the future they were building together. She had learned to accept happiness, to believe she deserved love, to trust that good things could last. Mama Anna, Hope said softly, snuggling closer to Anna on the couch, I'm glad you're going to be Lily's first mama. She's so lucky she gets to have you from the very beginning. Anna felt tears threatening again. I'm the lucky one, sweetheart. I get to be mama to the two most amazing girls in the world. 3 girls, Jonathan corrected with a smile. Don't forget yourself. As the movie ended and they prepared for bed, Anna took one last look around their living room. Family photos covered every surface, Hope's artwork hung on the walls, and baby items were beginning to appear in preparation for Lily's arrival. This was her home. These were her people. This was her life. And it was more beautiful than any fairy tale she could have imagined. Later that night, as Anna lay in bed feeling Lily move gently inside her, she thought about the woman she used to be and the woman she had become. The transformation hadn't always been easy, but it had been worth every moment of uncertainty. She had found her place in the world. She had found her family. She had found her happily ever after. And tomorrow would bring new joys, new challenges, and new reasons to be grateful for the unexpected journey that had brought her home to the people she was always meant to love. Your girls.